Emmanuel, hello. Are you? Were you called something else in a previous life? So you've got like a Kickoff 2 logo there. Anyway, welcome. So I'm driving a bus today, as you can see. And so I'm going to set this up. Eventually I'm going to have like, I would really love to have a lab that looks like one of those retro 1960s sci-fi things with, glowing, flashing panels, and because after all, it's all a game. My "it's all a game" sign is over there now. I swear it's been going on with one set of batteries for like 2 weeks. I've got a little tiny window there, is because we have the SpaceX Starship 10. I'm hoping I won't get a copyright strike for having on the stream such a small window, but it's just to keep an eye on it. This one is from NASA spaceflight.com if you want to go and check it out. So anyway, where did I get to? I got to this last night. It looks like I've managed to create an algorithm that reads the cassette data off my Acorn System 1. That is the mission. I've taken a short break from working on Phi because I switch between projects as I feel like, So let me open up Audacity. It's weird to look at that starship. It looks like something from a 1960s sci-fi movie, doesn't it? I need a bit fresh. I suppose I was thinking, how can I check what the bit pattern is on here? I suppose I can actually generate, and I will generate, I just had this idea, a tone. Of some frequency. Right, let's make it 2048. Or even higher, 10,000. It doesn't really, 12,000. It doesn't really matter too much. The amplitude is, we're going to make it a square wave, and the amplitude is going to be quite high, but the duration, oh, yeah, that's the point. Let's make it, say, what, 1 minute long. Not on there. rewind back to the beginning. We're going to generate a tone. So you don't need all of that. Okay, Manuel. Well, when you're back, say hi. And so I think I need a higher frequency than that, frankly. Okay, 4.5 seconds long. It'll become clear what I'm trying to do in a minute. So let's generate a tone of frequency, say that's probably too big. 20. What doesn't it? The highest frequency I can have is 12 kilohertz. Hey Daniel, tell you two new people tonight. Welcome Daniel, how are you doing? I'm going to try and do started the stream earlier. Normally I start them around sort of 10 or later, but today I can try and pop this here, and then the effect I'll have to do, the effect I want to try is to do a tremolo effect with a triangle with a square wave, and the frequency is going to be 2400. The percentage is going to be 100%, and what? It won't let me go above that. That's really annoying. Hey Daniel, well that's very kind of you. There are an awful lot of people who think it's the worst game ever made, so it's always nice to hear from a happy customer. It's just a shame I was not able, the game was not viable from a business point of view, and I've tried, in my mind I've thought about carrying it on as a hobby, but it's just too much. I'm not ready to do that. It hurt. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. That's good. It's always nice to hear from someone who liked it. We've got mono track, rewind, and then I'm going to generate some maybe a rhythm track. That might work better. The tempo is, no, that's not going to work. It'll never let me do the frequency that I need. I need to I could generate a tone and make it a square wave and put it at a frequency of, oh wait a minute, it's 300 bits per second. So if I do say at 600 hertz, maybe this will work. That'd be good if I can get... Ooh, right. Don't know why I didn't do that in the first place. So then we go... Ah, where's the... Yeah, you can see it if I zoom out. The bits. But if this was 300... Oh, because I said 600. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go to 1 and make it 150 instead. Generate a tone which is 150 hertz. Hey Christian, another one, an amazing Bob. Where are all these people coming from? That's amazing. Maybe I should stream early more often. So Christian, you were world #1. Did I meet you? I know I played a game at the Rome Museum with somebody who was world #1. Was that you? We played with really terrible controllers and I beat him, but that was just luck. Amazing Bob. Yeah. Is this the guy who made Dino Dini? No, well, that's a very... You have to be... Hey, Refly, how you doing? Yeah, you have to be careful with that. I mean, it's like, because on this channel, I tend to get a little bit philosophical. So that is, you just, you know, open the door there with that one. Is this the guy who made Dino Dini? So I am Dino Dini, but the question of whether I made myself is very, very deep philosophical question. It's a very deep and important one. I wonder, can I do this? Is it safe for me to move this here? No. Oh, okay. That was a shame. I have to think, because then I can look at the chat here. Yeah, I'll do that in a minute. But anyway, if I did I make myself a big philosophical question? Because, you know, it's like we all think of ourselves, we tend to think of ourselves as just appearing in the middle of the planet, you know, and this whatever, just out of nowhere, and it's something that's done to us or happens to us. But the philosophical question is, do we actually create ourselves without really knowing it? So if we take the view that in fact we create ourselves, though we might not remember that we did, then yes, I am the one who created Dino Dini. If we take the more normal approach, then it would be my parents created me. Though I have a feeling they don't know how they did it. Because how do we know how we do anything, you know? It's like, yeah. And just the same way, I mean, if I did make myself, I don't know how I managed to do that. So one way or the other. How did I come up with all the names? Hey, Michael Stevens. Wow, lots of people tonight. How do you come up with all the names? Which names? The names... I only needed to come up with one name. If we take the view that I created myself, I came up with this name Dino Dini, which is really weird. But then I'm a bit weird, so I suppose it all fits together. Message retracted. Funny thing is that, you know, I am recording the video on here. That will not be retracted. It cannot be retracted on the video, so unless I have to edit the video. I don't know. I don't know how that works. But yes, I saw that, and that was mildly funny. But yeah, probably best. Hi, Michael, Stephen, and Steve Jeffers. So I can't keep up with all these new people. Amazing. Oh, by the way, just an update on. There's a little tiny window there with the SN10 launch. I have it really small so I don't get a copyright thing, but it's like that's actually from NASA spaceflight.com. Apparently we're 4 minutes away from the launch. So that's big news. No, not really. There are no new projects on the go other than personal projects, and I've got a job, you know. So my day job is studio technical director at Splash Damage, and so then in my spare time I do other things. So I'm working on a project at the moment which is to convert the cassette audio output of the Acorn System 1, first computer that I ever owned. Not this particular one, I managed to get one off eBay, very difficult to find, and I had to restore it as well. Oh, it's SN10, the Starship SN10 space test flight in you can see the little window there. Your SpaceX is launching in 3 minutes, so that will be something to watch. If you want to see it, I recommend you open up another stream. I mean, not that I like to send people away when they're here, but you know what? They're doing their thing, and but we have Refly has arrived, and I think just about enough time. Hal, play Refly theme. Oh, you bastard, Hal. Hello, Hal.
Hello, Dino.
Hal, play Refly theme. I'm sure I set it up, didn't I? Hal, play Refly theme. Hal, play Refly theme. I don't know why it doesn't like it. I'll have to just play it manually. Come on, there's just time, because we need to before the thing launches. Search for SN10. 2 minutes. That's the Refly's theme. There are some people who've been watching me stream for so long, they've got their own pieces of music. Refly is one of them. That's the Refly's theme. And Hal didn't do very well there. Had to intervene. And we're at 50 seconds. What programming language? I use all kinds. At the moment, this is C++. But we've got to watch this. I recommend you watch this. It's a big deal because they're going to try and land it. It's going to fly up 10 kilometers into the air and then lift out its little wings with the little flaps, do a belly flop and try to land this thing, which is as tall as a small as well. It's as tall as a building, as a tall building, and it's like a skyscraper. It's a crazy. This is crazy. The last one crashed. 10 seconds. And thanks to, well, I'm very small on the screen because I'm looking at someone else's stream. I don't want to. Hurry! Oh, they're launching! I can't believe it. Come on. Right, you need to lift in the air. There's a distinct lack of actual movement. That looks like it looked promising. It looked promising, but it looks like there is a problem, and they've just scrubbed the launch. Well, at least it didn't blow up. What happened? It must have been the circuit, you know, the computers must have detected a fault, and it just shut the thing down. Wow. Well, there we go. What's it? One said to me to lift off. Yeah. What is it used for? Well, I don't know what they're planning to use it. I think the planning. I really don't know, to be honest. I think they have plans to make a refueling station and eventually get to Mars. I think that was the story. But the point about it is that the mission is to create the world's first fully reusable rocket that can take people to space and bring them back. And this is the bit they've been testing, is the bring them back bit, which is they've had 2 blow up on landing, failed landings. The launch was aborted due to an issue at engine startup. So there we go. All right, we're probably not going to see that try again for a while. So anyway, there we go. Normal service has been resumed. So what I'm trying to do here is decode the Acorn System 1 cassette tape format on the fly, and with some CPP code. And if I take this and put this like this, it should help me see what the bit pattern is, so I can compare it with the bit pattern that's been generated. I managed to get going last night. If you've got the lower frequency represents 0, the higher frequency represents 1, and each peak or trough of this wave that I've added for reference represents 1 bit. So this is 0 0, which is correct, followed by a 1, followed by 0 0 0 0 0 0. 1 2 3 4 5 6 zeros. 1 2 3 4 5 6 zeros, followed by a 1, which is correct. So it's looking good so far. Then 1 2 3 4 5 zeros. 1 2 3 4 5 zeros, followed by a 1. So that looks correct. Followed by 3 zeros. Ooh, followed by 3 zeros, followed by a 1, which is correct. Followed by 2 zeros, followed by a 1. You can see a pattern, which is correct. And then 0 0 2 3 4 5 6 zeros, followed by a 1. 1 2 3 4 5 6 zeros, followed by a 1. This is looking like it's working. Wow. It was late last night when I got to this point, so I wasn't able to test it. Followed by, and then we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 zeros followed by a 1. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 zeros followed by a 1. Those are 0 bits. Yeah, that's correct. But the one after it is different. This one is the start bit of a 0 and then all 1s. Start bit of a 0. Altogether there should be 10 bits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 looks correct again. Followed by a 0, followed by a 1, followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 zeros followed by a 1. 2 zeros followed by a 1. 1, 2, 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's working! I can't believe that it's working. I basically was getting nowhere, and then I decided to do it in a new way, and the new way basically has worked almost first time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 1, 2, and then 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, followed by 3 zeros. That's good enough. I'm not going through the... What is intelligence? Anyway, in any case, we've got too much intelligence. What the world needs is more wisdom. And clearly I'm not that wise. So there. That's brilliant. So what I'll need to do is convert the bits. I've extracted... This extracts the bits. Right. And what am I doing with them? Well, I need to construct... This works in a stream of constructing the bits, which is absolutely fine. I need to... I suppose what I can do is read them in as 10-bit values, and then there's a kind of a check that the first bit should always be 0, the last bit should always be 1. So let's get on with it. I'm going to create an integer value, which is but it's more than a byte. I'm going to call it 10 bits. And ten bits equals 0. We reset that at the start when I'm beginning the processing. Where I print the 1 and 0, this is where I need to add the bit. So this case I need to add a 1. So for that I need to take the expression 10 bits equal 0x and 200. 100 be bit 8, sorry, but this is bit 9. I need to put numbered from 0, 10 bits in total, and they come from the most significant first, and then I have to shift them over. So before I do that, I should do 10 bits, not 10 bits, and shift that over by 1. So I shift the bits over and I add the bit at the end. So that will be that. And I can go and do that here. It's also a 1. And this one is a 0. Which I shift without ORing. Would that work? Yeah, that would be fine. and I needed to print that one as well. I actually saw a bug there. It's worrying that it was working with a clear bug. Maybe these are the special cases. So if we are here, oh right, bit equal true. I'll have to review this. I need to set bit. And here it's a 0. And wait a minute, I'm going to go back to before I mess this up, because this code made a lot of sense yesterday and now I know roughly what I'm doing, but I need to be very careful, otherwise I'm going to end up screwing it up. So where did I get 10 bits? Right, let's take it from here. What do you think happens when you die? I think dying is like going to sleep. You shouldn't ask me questions like that. Here's the thing, logically, when one is dead, one does not feel the passage of time. How could we? You barely feel the passage of time when you're sleeping. So when you're dead, the whole universe could collapse and be reborn. 1 trillion years could pass by. You wouldn't recognize it. So at some point, statistically speaking, if it's happened before that you've become conscious, statistically speaking, given the fact that an infinite amount of time could pass in an instant, I think that what happens is that when we die, we are born again at some point. It will just happen again. It's not really born again, it just happens again. Because we have an infinite amount of time. The universe could expand and contract and we could have 1 billion big bangs go by. It wouldn't mean anything. Eventually, there we are again. It's totally logical. It's not a reincarnation. It actually makes complete sense. You could back it up with science, and so there we are. So really, I'm kind of puzzled as to why it's not the accepted answer. There you go. You asked, you got what you wanted, but you should be careful what you wish for. Really. So on this chain, I'm definitely here printing a 1, which means I'm definitely saying that I have a 1 bit, right? And so on this, it's not chain, I'm like 10 bits. And then I have to do that with an OR equal OX200. Right, here I also have a 1. So I need to do the same thing. It prints 1, which is debug print, and I'll remove those. But there, I assign a bit. This was wrong. I was, well, it's right, but it was wrong for me to think I'd need to do anything with this. It's just changing its mind because of the timing is out, that a bit that was 1 should actually be treated as a 0, but the bit hasn't completed yet, so I need to leave that alone. Then we come down to here we have a 0, and this just requires that I shift, and this one here is just changing its mind, that a 0 bit changed its mind and said it was a 1 bit, but it hasn't finished processing it yet. So having done that, what I should get at the end of processing 10 bits, so it needs to go in a cycle of 10 bits. So I could do a modulo, but I'd rather do a bit count. Usually less to go wrong. So every time I process a bit, I've got some bit of repetitious code here. I'm just prototyping right now anyway, so with that we do that, and you do bit count, and that's fine when you get to the end of that. What have you got on here? If bit count is equal 10, then this means that I have 10 bits, and so what I'll do now is print the bits, for which I can do a printf percent o 3x \n, and this would be 10 bits. So what this should do is construct from the individual bits that were generated bytes, and hopefully we'll see the result. Can I expand this, please? There. Right, well, obviously I've forgotten something. Bit count equals 0. I need to reset the bit count. Let's try this again. It says the first byte was 100. Is that correct? No. The 01 is... No, that's correct. 01. This is the start bit, which would be 200. That's not there. And then, no. Yeah, that's actually not quite correct. So let's see. It looks like 2 zeros came in, and I ended up with... Alright, the bit pattern is correct. I would be expecting, though, this to come out as 8-1 in hex, but it's not doing that. Is Hal listening, I wonder? Hello, Hal. Hal is... I use voice attack to create Hal, my helper, but Hal keeps on falling asleep. It's really quite annoying. Open sound settings, control panel, sounds, recording, microphone, levels. Hello, Hal. Hello, Hal. Hal is my friend here, but Hal keeps falling asleep. Hello, Hal. I have to sort of shout in its ear to wake it up. Hello, Hal.
Hello, Dino.
See, they're woken up. I'm going to have to write a piece of something that will just shout in Hal's ear every now and then to wake it up. I should be able to, you know, when it's paying attention, I can ask it to do things like, Hal, run. Hal, run. See, but there we go. He's already asleep again. Hello, Hal.
Hello, Dino.
Unless I forgot how to say it. It's like, Hal. Oh, right. Hal, restart program. There you go. But it's not that amazing. It'd be amazing if Hal didn't fall asleep all of them in time. So I can ask Hal to play the themes, you see. Hal, like we'll try. It didn't work before. I want to know if it works. Hal, play Refly theme. Yeah, really, but I'm working on trying to get the recognition sort of better. There's also a problem, I'm not using headphones, so when the theme is playing, Hal can't hear me. It's like, hello, Hal!
Hello, Dino.
Sometimes Hal just sort of says things on the whim of it, don't you, Hal? It's freaky. Anyway, so Hal used to be pretty sophisticated in previous streaming scenarios. Doesn't have so many instructions right now, and then I forget what they are, you know. Just use boost.
Boost, boost, boost.
There we go. And you know, that's basically I probably need to have one for every hobby horse that I've got. Like, I've got a hobby horse about boost. Let's try and debug this byte generation, which shouldn't be really very hard, but you know, where it generated a 0, would be the first one that it generated. It shift the bits to the right. That's what that does, which is absolutely fine. And when there's a 1 bit, we OR this bit and then oh, right, well, you know, it's these order of instructions. I need to make sure it's that way around. That's the problem. Let's try again. Hey, Alessandro, how you doing? What am I doing? I suppose I could put a thing up, but you know what? It's better to answer the questions and people pay attention. This is an Acorn System 1. It is the first computer I ever owned. Not this one, but I got this one off eBay and I had to restore it, and it was only got to restore it recently. This is a 6502 1 kilohertz, sorry, 1K of RAM, 1 megahertz processor, 8-bit. First computer I ever wrote programs for that I owned. You program it in hex and displays on a calculator display up here. So this now runs, and I want to do streams where I'm programming it. But one of the things that you used to have to do was connect to this port here a cassette recorder to record your programs. So what I'm trying to do right now is take a recording of that, which is this top trace here, is actually a recording of the, yes, it is the same as on the Atari 2600, I believe, yes. Or very similar. It's a recording of the output of the cassette deck output, right? And as you can see, it encodes ones and zeros as two different frequencies. So I'm writing a program right now to decode this. Now, when I've got this, what I'll be able to do is write a program that listens for the cassette output. And when I save programs on here, it picks them up, converts them into hex, saves them as a hex file. And then I should be able to edit them and then do the reverse. So that's the little project here. Now, I usually have a number of projects on the go at the same time. Right now, that's what I'm working on. And I think I've almost got the core of the tone recognition working reliably. And when I've got this done, what I'm going to do is write software for this 2600, for this Acorn System 1 live, and you can, if you're interested, you can watch somebody writing in hex, not even assembler, just hex. A91F850E 4C04FF. What I think that will do is cause, yes, I know what that will do. It throws the operating system of the Acorn System 1, it has a small operating system, tells it to not wait for key presses before, activating instructions. And if you happen to do that, as described there, what it does is it'll start cycling through memory automatically. A91F is load the value 1F into the accumulator. 85 is store to 0 page address 0E. 0 page is the lowest 256 bytes of memory. So address 0E, write what was in the accumulator, which was 1F. And then 4C is jump to absolute address. 04FF is the address of the operating system entry point. When you run a program, if you want to jump back to the operating system, you do 4C04FF, and there you go. Ha! And what I'd really like to do is write a game on the calculator display. Just the idea of designing a video game or a game that works on a calculator display, quite a challenge. But I just had an idea, a rough idea of an endless runner that could be written on the display. So that would be fun. Let's see if this works. Well, not quite. Yeah, it's not successfully doing this at all. I shift the bits over to the left, and I OR with this bit. And it's not working, is it? So that's really weird. So what I will do is I can just, you know what? I can just put breakpoints in here. I keep forgetting that this is actually a program that debugs pretty well through use of the debugger. Most programs don't, but this is just data processing. So let's see. What is the bit count? The bit count is 1. What is 10 bits? Is currently 0. So after doing the rotation, 10 bits is still 0 because it's a 0 bit, so that's fine. We go to the next one, is also a 0 bit, which is correct, and 2 bits processed, and I've got the value I would expect. The next one is a 1 bit, and so let's just look at 10 bits here and bit count here. Let's see what we get. It's going to I really want to see this in hex. Geez, how do you...
Turning heater on.
Thanks, Hal. That I didn't really want you to do that, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, yes. Unfortunately, the debugger, all the values have to be either hexadecimal, decimal. I just stalled there because that doesn't make any sense. It shifted 10 bits right by a byte? That looks just completely wrong. My immediate reaction, because one of my hobby horses is debuggers. Debuggers are... I don't really like them very much because they lie. I'm thinking this has to be a lying debugger. Sometimes people don't believe me when I say that debuggers lie. Oh, but they do. Unless I misread it. No. Right. Yeah. Never mind. That was pilot error. I'm not interested. I'm only interested in this value because they're both 2. I thought it had shifted it by a byte. I'm just being nonsense. That was nonsense. Right. Okay. Let's just single step. So. Yes, the 10th bit. Yeah, no, I don't see anything wrong with that. So then we carry on. It's starting a new, well, let's just hit it. I have to keep going all day. I've got now another 1 bit, 10 bits got reset to 0. Okay, there we are, found the bug. Let's get rid of these things. The bug is that I'm clearing 10 bits in the wrong place. I'm clearing 10 bits after every bit. 10 bits should be cleared to 0 here, and then needs to be cleared after when I reset. 10 bits equals 0, and we set that to there and we go again. So Hal, restart program. Yeah, still not working. I have another bug. It's like because it ended up with zeros. Why? How? What am I?
Hello, Dino.
Oh, shush. Bit count equals 0. Ten bits equals 0. I only reset 10. Oh, look at that. I printed 10 bits after I cleared it to 0. That's a good one. Not very clever. See, I'm not very clever at all. And that we have now 204. Oh, that's closer But that's still not right. Oh, right, okay. This does, hang on, I need to check. I'm going the wrong way after all that. I think I'm shifting the wrong way. In here, I did this thing where there are these, the header, this is the header, and then it starts off zero. Right, this is a 0 byte, this is the start bit, and this is the first bit, which is a 1. So it is correct. This is the lowest bit, because the next one after that I have a start bit and then it's 0 1, and the one after that I have a start bit and it's 0 0 1. So in other words, I'm turning each of the bits on to check the order. So I ended up with 204, but what I fed in was 0 1. Right, yes, because it's in reverse. This is the least significant, the most significant. I have to reverse it in my head. So the top bit is always a 1, but it's this one. This means that they should always have the top bit set, or that 2, which is correct. What is wrong is that this is a value of 2, not 4. For it to be the value of 4, this would need to be 0 0, and this would need to be a 1. So that is puzzling. If I look at the bits as they came in, they're correct. If I reverse the flow, oh no, wait a minute, it is 4 because of the, it's 4 because of the stop bit. So in fact that is correct. It's confusing because I have a stop and a start bit. So I think we're good. What I need to do then is, well, I'm going to delete or comment out printing the individual bits. Like so. I comment out printing the individual bits and then just print the bytes. Hal run. Hal restart program. Hal restart program. Hello Hal. Hello Hal. You've fallen asleep again, haven't you? Hello Hal. This is useless. Hal restart program. Well, it's definitely that. I've tried everything. It's like Hal becomes sulky when I don't pay it attention and just hears me rabbiting on all the time. Hello, Hal.
Hello, Dino.
See, now it's working fine. So annoying. If you happen to know of any speech recognition software that actually works, please let me know. It's not Voice Attack's fault, it's Windows voice recognition. Byte 204. I need to check start and stop bits. So this means that they should all be even. The least significant bit should always be 0. The most significant bit should always be 1 of the 10 bits. So what I expect it to be is, we could say int check is 0x2 00. Check bits, check mask, OX201. So there's a bit in the mask set for each of the bits I need to check. Then if I do 10 bits, which are my 10 bits, and I AND it with the check mask, if the thing is okay, it should equal 10 bits. No, it should equal check. Like so. So this, and I need to make sure that, just be sure I'm put parentheses around that. Don't think I need them. But anyway, 10 bits and check mask equals check. So if I take the 10 bits and I mask off the 2 bits I'm interested in, the rest set to 0, and I check this against 200, it's a good bit. Else I need to generate an error. Bad byte at %d index. Right. So if it's a good bit, I can then just rotate the value or shift the value to the right by 1 and mask off anything above, anything out of those 8-bit range, and then I finally have my byte. So int byte equals 10 bits shifted 1 step to the right and ANDed with OXFF, and this actually gives me my byte, true byte value. And it will print that. We'll see if this works. And well, I can print O2X because it's only 1 byte, and go like so. And here we are. The first value was 02, and that was correct. The second one is 10. I don't believe it. Start bit, then 0, 1, and you have to reverse the sense. This is going right to left. You need to fill them in left to right. So 0, 1 is in fact 2, and 0, 0, 0, 0 is 0, and that's, so the end result is 0, 2, which is correct. This one looks just totally wrong. There's the start bit. Oh, maybe not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, yeah, no, this is correct. Because that is the stop bit. This is the start bit. It starts here. 0, 0, 0, 0. Or this way. 0, 0, 0, 1. That's 1. 0, 0, 0, 0. It's correct. So the first 2 hex values off the cassette tape are 02, 10. And in fact this makes complete sense, because the memory that was dumped from here was from the range of 0200 to 0210, and now we finally have decoded the format on this, the output. The first 2 bytes are the end address. The second 2 bytes are the start address, the third 2 bytes look like, here it's 00FF, and my assumption is that that is the number of, is that the number of bytes? It's kind of interesting. Is it the number of bytes, 00FF? Or it could be something else. Could be that they always have that. So what I think I need to do at this point to understand that part of the header is plug in my system 1. And then I'll need to connect up the cassette port with a cable right down here. I'm going to try writing out other different bits of different addresses. So just plugging in the makeshift connector there. And what do we have now? If I save from, say, 0300 to 00FF, I was saving 16 bytes. So what is 00FF? Maybe it's always 00FF. From 300 to, let's say, 0400. When I hit S here, it's going to write that out. So the way I have this set up right now is that when I hit there we go. No, it's not in 5. Where did I put this thing? We go into C, users, documents would be better, VS projects, board tools, system cassette tools, in the debug folder here. Let's just get hold of that and pin it here, and then I can do a CD to that, so I'm in the right place. Now, somewhere I made a script, didn't I? Where did I put the command? I think I put it at the top of this file. There we go. This is an ffmpeg command that will produce a raw data file from the cassette port when I hit save, and it should be saving 256 bytes from 0300 to 0400, and we'll see what it does. So if all being well, what I do is hit this and it says command not found. Why? Because Microsoft. Right, let's try that again. So I'm going to hit that and still it's not command not found. Why? It's interesting that I must have been running this from the Windows shell. That's odd. Let's try this again. I'm sure I have it in the execution path. There we go. And it's going, and then I hit save, and it's writing it, and 256 bytes. Done. It's not very fast, this. Hey Michael, yeah, thanks for watching. Take care, mate. And what we've got is, I'm going to do that again because that came out longer than anticipated. 0300 to 0400. So it goes boom, 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 and I hit this, and it writes it out. It does 30 bytes a second. So that should have recorded the raw data file, which I can now run, and it didn't manage to encode this one. It didn't get very far at all. That's sad. So what I need to do is check to see let's change this to output a WAV file. And try again. This is messy. It's not a suitable format. Yes, you are so right. And it's writing them. And it has written them. They are writ. And then you go to Audacity and I'll drag it in. Data.wav. Now there is a thing. No wonder it couldn't decode it, because that's a really good impression of just not working at all. In fact, it looks like there's speech there. So I need to figure that out. Have I actually got the signal? I think I might have a problem with the... Oh, it's coming through to the desk. I'm using the wrong... It's using the wrong one. It was actually using Hal's audio microphone, so no wonder it was speech. So I need to find the right one. History piped into grep ffmpeg. That was the command to list. And here we go. So what am I looking at here? I'm looking at the ffmpeg list audio devices. And so the device that it's on is this one. So So I've copied that, and then when I get to here I need to change that device to this. This is the command. Right, so we'll try again. I'm saving from 0300 to 0400. Let me hit enter, wait for it to start up, hit save, wait for it to finish transmitting, finished, Control C. And with that Control C, I have now got a new file. Which one did I do there? That is the WAV file. So we take data.wav and pull it into here, and there, this looks like actual data. And you can see it. So this is going to be interesting to see if this works. Now I'm going to have to, that was as a WAV file. What I need to do is to write it out as a raw file. Let's try that again. Reset. 0300 to 0400. Start that again. I'll start it. Okay. It's going, and it's writing it, and it's finished writing it. Control C. Now if I run my program, it should pull that one in instead, and we'll see how far it gets. Well, it got somewhere. It 13 bytes, and then there was an error, so something out of time. Yeah, I don't know what that's. Yeah, bytes 5 and 6, what they are. Well, I can look in the memory. Starting at address 0300, we can see it was 0300 to 0400. Oh, it's fine. I must have, because I just must have had that 0 and F in there myself. That isn't part of the header. It's a 4-byte header, because I'm reading out the memory contents in the editor off the screen, off the display here of the system 1, and I see 10, 90, C0, 50, 40, C0, 70, F0, and then it goes wrong. So the particular error that we have here was it found it's to do with the timing correction that has to occur, because it's not as clean as it might be in the changeover between the one frequency and the other. So this error that it threw up is error 0, which is here. It's an error on a 0 bit, and it says it's 3. Now if I have 4, if I reach 4 bits, 4 cycles, a 0 bit has 4 cycles at half the frequency. So the problem here is it reached 3 cycles and then said, actually we're now doing a 1 bit instead of a 0 bit. Now, if I follow the pattern that I did here, for 1 bits, it goes a chain of 1 to 8. In fact, it should be 8 cycles at the higher frequency. But if I find it tries to change its mind less than 5, because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, 6, 7, 8. So basically, if it finds that it isn't the correct number of cycles, it either rounds up or down, is the idea. The round up or down decision is halfway through the bit. Either 1, 2, 3, 4, it rounds down, 5, 6, 7, 8, it rounds up. That's why that figure of 5 comes from. But here it's a little bit, here it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And the problem is right, because I did. So I'm going to it's going yeah. I don't think I can do the errors. But I can check if there's an error, because of the start and stop bits will eventually show if the thing has gone out of sync. I'm going to say if this is greater than or equal to 5, and then it's definitely split. 1, 2, 3, 4, it does one version. 5, 6, 7, 8, it does the other version. If that's the case, then I need to follow the same pattern here. If it was 4, then we're all okay. Right, I'm just going to get rid of this. And then just put this back as an else. And do the same thing here. Else. So that's fine. So this is changed to a 1 bit. And I'm going to move that down to here. And then this one, I need to copy that. So that was not really totally symmetrical in the way I was handling it, but now it should be. And this is if this is greater than or equal to 3. So if it's 3 or 4, it's really only 3 in this case. Then what it needs to do is say that I am processing this. I need to enforce it. So if it's 3, as was the case here, it just says no, we've gone far enough to say this was a 0 bit. Pardon me. So this should be enforce 0 bit. There's 10 bits greater than, right, so I'm shifting this, but it's enforcing a 0 bit, so I'm saying it's a 0 bit, so I don't set it. The bit count goes up. If I was to do the debug log, it would print a 0. But it changes the sense of, even though it enforced that it was a 0 bit, we are now processing a 1 bit. The chain is 1 because we just received a set bit that mirrors what I had up there. The other one here was to say change to 1 bit. Okay, we'll see if that works. Problem, because I mean, it's one of those things, it's not easy to debug it, and any slight error and you got a problem. And it found a bad byte at 256 bytes, more or less. Looks like it might have found a bad byte at the end of the thing, because well, this is encouraging. I need to do a reality check against the memory display here and the Acorn, the display in the Acorn system 1 here. So we go so for some point there's nothing for it but to validate it by going through them. And we're starting over here at byte 5. Hey Garcia, how you doing? Yeah, I started the stream early tonight and there were some new faces. Maybe I should do that more often. And we watched the SN10 launch, SpaceX launch, and I got everything ready and the engines lit up and there was this spectacular explosion on the... No, it wasn't actually. No, what happened was it actually lit up the engines and then the engines just cut out. So it's scrubbed. I presume it's scrubbed. I didn't even check. I should probably check to see what the latest is on it. They have to just keep making it shinier, don't they? The next launch attempt, is expected at around 4:30 p.m. Oh, they're going to have another try. Wow! In about an hour and something. The abort was caused by a conservative thrust limit. So there we go. Yeah, I've got. You've just said hi when I think I've got the reader, the tape reader, to work. So that's exciting as well. Nothing but excitement here. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we need to see, right, has Hal... Hey, kickoff 2! Well, now we get 2 themes. But first of all, we need to figure out if Hal is awake. Will you take your bets, please? If you think Hal is awake or not. Just do it in your mind, because I'm an impatient person and I'm not going to be sitting here waiting for you to put your little votes in. Not that it matters anyway, because it's not like I've got... What is this, a bloody raffle? I mean, no, Dino, shut up. Hello, Hal.
Hello, Dino.
Hal is awake. Well done. Are you able to drip sarcasm? No? Okay. Hal, play Garcia theme. Hal is very good at going to sleep. Hal, play Danny's theme. I have my finger on the button, man. I have my finger on the button of my Acorn System 1. I was just reading through the memory to see if this is the memory and there are errors, which is very annoying. So it is sort of working, but sort of not as well. So it's 1 0. Ah, no, that's why. Okay. 1 0 9 0. The numbering is really annoying here. So what I need to do is when I print out the bytes, I'm also going to print out the address. And the address is going to be the index plus OX 300 minus 4, because there's the header, and so that's why it made it seem like the thing was wrong, and that's just totally annoying. It's like, oh, because that's the bit. I need the byte count. Do I have a byte count? No, probably not. My God, how many counts does a man need? How many counters does a programmer need before The program is done. Yes, and how many times must a breakpoint exist before we can have some fun? Yes, and how many times must an engineer say the same thing over again? And the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. And here we now see that the first address at 300 contains the number 10, which was confirmed as being correct. 10. Maybe I need to... I'm just going to detach the cassette port umbilical. And maybe if I do this, I can... 1090 C0 5040 C070 F0 D5 F5 at 309 F5 E5. Maybe better do 8575 F5 F575 F5 followed by another F5 on OE and 30F and on 75 and 310 is 70 B0 and then followed by a B0, then a 90 D0. 1060 B06A FA EA. Meh. There's a defect right there. And 9A, no, everything's fine. 9A, 7A, 6A, 5A, 7A, 25, 65, D5, 35, 25, 15, 55, E5, F5, B5, F5, D5, F5, F5, B5, 55. 7A, 6A, 8A, 5A, 7A, 7A, 5A. You know what? I think it's working. It has successfully decoded the signal. That's exciting. So now I can save a program and I need to be able to play it back. That's the other one. But that is probably going to be easier to program. I want it to write out this as a hex file and it would be kind of cool if it was able to format it a little bit into the appropriate code for the opcodes. I think that would be quite nice. But first of all, let's just think about the structure of this. Extract bits. At the moment it doesn't put them anywhere. I think what I want to pass... It's actually turned in... I said extract bits, but it turned into extract bytes. And I suppose I need to know how many, and I need to return some kind of... I'll return a... I'll pass in a const reference to a vector of chars. Not a vector of chats, but a vector of chars. And and this is going to be called fill. And what I also need to pass in is the number of bytes to extract. This was called where's the main gone? Oh yeah, here. So I make the bit stream and I extract the bits, but now it's going to be extract bytes, and I'll need to pass in a reference to a vector. So this will be a vector of chars called bytes, and that's all we need. Vector of chars called bytes, and I can just pass in a reference to the bytes. Actually, I don't need to do that because I just pass in the bytes, and I'm going to pull out 4 bytes. So I'm going to see if I can extract the header. We're going to go up here and check if on this fill. First thing that they need to do is to clear the standard library is a pretty awful API in terms of usability. So vector clear C++. Okay, that's what I thought, because I had a problem with string, the string stream, where you do clear, it does something completely different. Clears the errors instead of actually clearing. So the first thing that will happen is we do a fill clear. So that clears it to make sure that it's there, and then we extract the bits, and I just need to add them to the fill. So we come down to here, we will see that the point where it prints the bytes is here. I'm just going to take that out for a moment, and then we do fill dot push back and the value, which is byte, and so that's what we've got. And just see if that compiles, which I think it won't. That's correct. I don't know why. My guts were telling me it wasn't ready for prime time. Yeah, we need to use a std vector, but I think I'm just going to put in here using std vector. I don't know, which one do I do? With the 1 or the 2? I can never remember. Yeah, it is 2. It's the years of doing C#. Right. And now what we have is an error. It will not allow me to clear this because I made it a const, which is obviously nonsense, because if it's a const, then how can it be modified? It says that it actually now works. So extract, I was thinking, how can it work? Do I not need to modify the header file? Well, no, I don't, because I've got an inline class. And so if I run this, what I should get is I extract the bytes, and then I want to do int start address is equal bytes. And you can see right here at the beginning, the most significant byte comes first. So it's bytes 0. Shift 8 bits this way. ORed with bytes 1. And that should be the start address. And then we should get the end address, which is going to be pretty similar, except that you do 2 and 3. Remember the semicolons. And we just go, come on, if I can type. Print start percent 04x end percent 04x backslash n start address end address, and run this. Hello, Hal.
Hello, Dino.
So did I miss a theme? Or did I play... No, I played them both, didn't I? That's true. Hal, run... Hal, restart program. Hal, restart program. Oh. Print. I keep doing print instead of printf. That's because my work on Phi. Hal, restart program. Hal, restart program. And it says bad byte at bit. Right, because, why? Because I have not implemented the num check. The other thing is I extract the bytes. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So what I need to do... Yeah, it's true, it's a shame because I like his theme. We haven't really seen Tropical. Or in other words, Tropical is not topical. He needs to become a topical Tropical. For us to hear his theme again. So what I need to do is check the number of bytes, which is what I asked, number of bytes. And because I have the number of bytes here, if bytes is greater than or equal to num, then we're done. Return. That'll do for now. Hal, restart program. And we see is the start is, I got them the wrong way round because it's the end address occurs before the start address. Let's try that again. What's the end address I declared? Oh. Hal, restart program. So the start address is 0300, the end address is 0400, which is correct. And I need that to know how many bytes to read. So I'm actually going to add another one, which is start. Later I could cache this so that it doesn't have to reprocess it, but for now this will do. So what we're going to say here is we start from extract bytes at 0, 4 bytes. This is why I need to get the header to know how many bytes to read, and then we're going to make a thing called length equals end address minus start address, and the length I can then tell it to extract bytes again starting at 4 and length bytes, and so that should be good. I just need to implement the start. The start can be implemented here, minimal change to the code. If I find 10 bits and check mask equals check, and we push back byte. We don't push the byte back if it's too soon. So if bytes are greater than or equal to start, then we do it. And if I come back to here, start. Okay. Hal, restart program. So I think it ran and it did it and it didn't generate any errors. So that's encouraging. And then we should have the bytes, which I can probably go through for each. Oh, every language has a different version of for each, and I can never remember them. So it's just for each C++. It's like, well, I can remember C sharps. It's like, oh gosh, consent, yes, flipping, just looking for one line of flipping. There we go, thank you, that's all I needed to see. For int, for auto, I in bytes print f percent 04x percent 02 x backslash n. We're going to print the address, which now I don't need to mess around anymore. I know the address. It's the index from here is that plus the start, whatever the start is, and I have the start address. And then I also need to print the value, and this is of course a char. It would be better to say it explicitly, and then go. Doesn't like it. Unused, uninitialized local variable I. Yes. Okay, let's go again. And that's fine. And we run this, and then we can see that. Now there's the thing. It's char B. Yes, that's not good. What I need to do to get this to print without it becoming negative is convert it into. Is that what I did? Make it a vector of chars? Yeah. I need to convert this into an unsigned char. And then convert the unsigned char into an int. If I do it that way, then they won't have a problem with. Oh, right, there it is. All right, but I'm not incrementing the old classic here. I++, increment that. Let's run again, go. What have we got? Here. And we can see there it starts on at 1090 C050. There are no errors. It has correctly dumped the memory, and I'm just going to keep going forward with this. The next thing I want to do, because I think it's actually quite nice to get a bit of a listing that makes some kind of coherent sense rather than just being a string of numbers like that, because For example, 850E is 2 bytes that make one instruction. So I guess what I could do is look at the manual and construct a table. For each opcode, decide what it is that each one needs to do. So I need to take a quick break. I'll be right back. How's this doing? Hello. It looks like 40 minutes to go. And this is my new single released on Monday morning, which I'll leave you with while I take a short break. See you in a minute. In the beginning was the Word. And the Word was God. I was walking along and right by the stream searching. I felt like a 2-year-old urchin. Was thinking about the sun somewhere behind the clouds. And the trees, they all agreed with that chattering sound. I went for the stars, but I could not see any, nor the sky above, and nor eternity. There were no words to spoil or taint the scene. No black, no white, no grey, nothing to be. So tell me, did he really know what he was making? And does he already know the If God had a river of his own, did he learn to let go? Let it carry him down to where he needed to go. Was there anyone looking after the place where he would be? Thereafter I want to know about God and the river. Makes no sense, there can be no pretense. If you look at us, we're all like little children playing in the playground, but not so nicely. If God is our parent, then where the hell is he? Or she? Tell me, did she really know what she was making?
obviously that forces us now to fade it out by then.
Press F11, press escape, press F11, press F11 plus escape. Oh my god. Right. So, if I want to do that, I need to get the data, the thing. Where did I put it? Is it in here? The Acorn System 1 manual. And somewhere in here, it's this one, I think. This is the I mean, it doesn't actually say how many instructions on there, does it? But we start. Yeah, maybe if I take that and pop it here. Oh, thank you. So those are all the opcodes of. But should I do that now? This is just a memory dump. I think I'm getting ahead of myself. We can save that for another time, right? The main thing is being able to save and load programs and edit them. Not try to do, because if I try to make it sort of like do a semi-disassembly, it's just going to assume it doesn't know whether it's data or it's code. I suppose I could have the format where I put more than one byte per line, but I think not. I think it's unnecessary for now. So what I will do, I'm looking at oh, 004. I actually probably don't even need to print the start and end addresses, to be honest. It's also interesting, it didn't get to the end. Ah, there's a little baguette there. Right, that goes right to the end. I'm just going to use that as the save data. Thing. And so this is actually doing what I want, is to convert the stream from that it takes on standard input to just spit out the bytes. So let's do that. Void output data, and it's literally this code here. Output data. Thanks. I can make catchy tunes, as my poor partner can attest to. Sometimes she goes, "I get tunes running around in my head." I know. Even sometimes they go around mine. For like days when I'm working on it, I'll just hear it. It's like I feel like I'm in an episode of Battlestar Galactica, you know, when they start hearing that tune, which was all along the watchtower. Decoder decoder standard in output data. It doesn't like it. Why? Because I don't need to do that anymore. I don't know how I make catchy tunes. It's one of those things. Does one learn to make a catchy tune? I have no idea. The tune comes to you, you know, and then I like to think of it as being like, I mean, actual fact, it's good to feel I've done a satisfactory job with a track, but in the end, it's not. The reason I do it's almost like it's a job. It's like for no pay, where a tune comes knocking on my door and says, "Look, I understand that you have the ability to sort of like make tunes sort of kind of come real, you know." So and I'm a tune, so can you do me, please? You know, and then when I'm going through that process, I find it's really helpful to basically treat it as though the tune is a boss, the tune is in charge. I'm doing it as a job, as a service to the tune. So what does the tune want? That's what do I want? Doesn't matter. It's what does the tune want? Some tunes are very hard to please. But sometimes I think, you know, what if I wasn't able to do music anymore? And it's like, well, you know, at one point I said, oh, well, that would be terrible. Now I just think, well, then the pressure would be off. I get satisfaction out of it, but it's in a way it's no different from the satisfaction I get out of doing my job when it works out well, when things are going well, you know, it's like get up. Right, what are we doing today? Yes. What thing is pulling at me today, you know? I don't know if that makes any sense. So, output data and then it prints it. And I think this is working, right? So, it means that I should be able, in here, to simply execute my system1 cassette tools exe and put into it data.raw, and then it pops out the answer, and that is one way done. See, really, really simple. I mean, just stupidly simple. Who needs a user interface? Now what's really interesting is that it should be able to make this work live now, because I had this command which reads it live from the cassette port, and now all I need to do is pipe that into my cassette tools.exe 0200 to 0210, and then all I need to do now is hit enter, you see, ta-da, and it's running, and then I go sad face. I must have mistyped something. Let's try this again. What I really wanted it to do was to generate this in real time, but that was part of the reason why I didn't want to have a pre-processing step. So if I can get rid of the pre-processing step, then literally we'd have this run, and whenever bytes come through we could see them. That would be cool, but one step at a time. And I think there I made a mistake. 0200 to 0210, and so I hit this, and there it goes, and then I save. Oh, I didn't save. I save. The problem is it doesn't know when to stop, because it is not processing it on the fly. So it's not as nice as it will be later on. Its kung fu is not going to be as good as it will be later on, because it's not running in real time. You see, if it was running in real time, it could know when to stop, and it would just exit, and well, we'll get there slowly. It would, if we look at us, we're all like little ants playing in the playground, but not so nicely. That verse is actually supposed to be one that doesn't rhyme. It's deliberately written to be almost not sung. But I'm seeing it. So I'm not sure what it's supposed to rhyme with. If you look at us, we're all like little children playing in the playground, but not so nicely. If God is our parent, then where the hell is he? Oh, there is a rhyme actually. Well, there isn't much that rhymes with ant, actually. I'm just thinking, what rhymes with ant? Pant. Rant. How could I miss that? Rant. Ant rhymes with rant. There aren't a lot of words that rhyme with ant. I mean, it's easier to do. It's easier to do plural. Ants, pants, Rants. Yeah, okay. But then we can have stance, but that's a bit of a... Those are the half rhymes. Very useful, but... No. Same with the plural. Plants. If you're you can get away with it if you're American. There are ants all over my plants. But in England the rhyme just doesn't work. There are ants all over our plants.
Hello, Dino.
Yeah. Hello, Hal.
Hello, Dino.
There are ants all over our plants. I guess in America there's no differentiation between ants and ants. You know, it's like... There isn't a lot that rhymes with children, though, to be fair. Children. Yes, my rhyme finding algorithm is struggling with that one as well. What rhymes with children? It's nope. Drawing a blank. But still, this isn't fun with rhymes. Though it could be. Maybe it is, and I'm just hiding it. Yeah, it would be nice if it was able to do this on the fly. That was the original intention. But let's see how we would make this work then. So what I need to do is I have to run that, wait until it does this. Start again because I set it going too soon, so it's like that. So if I want to dump the entire memory, the entire RAM of this, let's try that. Takes a little longer. .300 bits per second, and it's come back, so that's that. And oh right, if I'm going to do it that way, I'd need to tell it how many bytes to do, so I'll have to do it like, yeah, I have to put it into a temporary file for bytes raw. Let's try that again. So I'm actually going to be writing to a file . Makes no sense. There can be no pretense. If you look at us, we're all like little ants. It's stretching it a bit, but it depends. Maybe in some accents that's absolutely fine. Oh, it's done. And then what I should be able to do is dump it. There are no errors. That was the important one. There is a dump of the entire memory of the Acorn System 1. So we could say that this particular project is done, the saving, but it's not finished unless I can also go the other way. How can you not make that line not rhyme? Well, sometimes not making it rhyme is making a point. It makes no sense. There can be no pretense. Also, the rhyme has already happened. It makes no sense. There can be no pretense. If you look at us, we're all like little children playing in the playground, but not so nicely. It seems it has a sense to me. To me, there's a rhythmic sense to it. But you know, if you overanalyze it and you start going, hang on a minute. And when I first started singing that, I think it was from the original improvisation of the first version of the song, and I just liked it, so I kept it in. Just don't pronounce the T, ands. It makes no sense, there can be no pretense. If you look at us, we're all like little ends. Little ends, like little n, like as in the letter N. N for no, N for new. Hang on a minute, we must be getting close to the next attempt. From SpaceX. Everybody's gone as usual. Do boo do boo do do.
5 second stage actually had its own interstage too. The Saturn V second stage interstage was carried by the second stage for about 10-20 seconds, I believe, and that was because they had ullage motors to kind of push the stages away on the interstage. So it's interesting to see Starship have its own interstage that it will not drop away. And another question here from VJ asking, would the SpaceX plan to reduce the thrust of the Raptor engine during the landing phase? If so, how much of that reduction? So Elon did say that they...
Right. Okay. So, what shall I do? If I suppose what makes sense is to write a whole nother new, oh come on, new project. because I really can't be bothered to sit there parsing command line arguments. It's boring. What message? What did you get deleted? What did they do to you? Oh. Console app in C#. Oh, and this one I'm going to call Write to System 1. Add to solution. Create. And then on here we do and I suppose I can tidy things up here and go up to 400. Yeah, the thing is I finished one part of the project and now it's like let's wait to pick up the next one. So maybe I won't do that. Tank farm activity. Switch to. Okay. How am I going to do this? I suppose I need to read in this file, parse it, create. You know, I don't want to work anymore on this today because that's the thing. I completed a little milestone, which was being able to parse the thing, and I'm not feeling it, so I'm going to do something else. So I started the stream early. I'm going to end the stream early tonight. So thanks for watching. Take care, everybody. See you around soon. And yeah, we'll carry on. Take care. Bye.